welcome today Paige Depan. She is the CEO of Spirit Horse Ranch. That is a 501c3 nonprofit on Maui offering trauma-informed equine-assisted therapy with programs for youth, ohana. Do you have kapuna? I don't see kapuna on here.
Yep, we have kapuna. We definitely do kapuna.
So wisdom of the horses help people heal from crisis, trauma, grief, anxiety, depression, and the lasting effects of natural disasters such as the Maui wildfires.
Yes.
So studies show that people working with horses experience decreased blood pressure, lower stress levels, reduced feelings of tension, anxiety, and anger, and they gain self-esteem, empowerment, patience, and trust. So horse healing. We welcome you, Paige. Thank you for being on.
Hi, thank you for that nice introduction. And Josette, nice to meet you. Jeff and I have talked a little bit, and Spirit Horse is very excited to share wisdom with other healers. So thank you so much for letting us be here.
You know, equine therapy is, I love horses. I love what you're doing. I mean, and to do it in Maui, I mean, what a dream for so many people. You are so blessed.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're very excited to have you for many reasons, and so we will be airing this show not just on Island Health, but also on Studio 17.
Yay.
This is, yeah, I think a lot of people will want to come and see you, Paige. Go ahead, Jeff, take it away.
So I know, well, the first question is where are you located, just for references for everybody? You're upcountry.
Yes, so we are located upcountry. Hang on one second. There's a fire engine.
Yes, I hear it.
I hear it. I thought it was outside my window. I'm in Phoenix right now, Paige, on the second floor.
Oh gosh, yeah. So we don't often have fire engines out here. I hope everything's okay. So is it a fire, Marissa? Yeah, so it's yeah, there's a truck on fire down the road, I guess. Yeah.
There's fires every week here. That's unfortunate.
That's why we do what we do. So we are located up country, way out in the boonies, so it's odd to hear a fire truck go by. But we are actually 5 minutes past the Maui Winery. So if you know where Ulupalakua Ranch Store is, or Bully's Burgers, that's one of our for-profit companies that we have for Triple L Ranch. Triple L Ranch is the main family organization for the Depontes, which is myself and my children. My husband, who passed away, left the ranch in my hands. wasn't quite ready. I was a filmmaker and a photographer and a world traveler, and I'm like, what? So we decided to do this community-based project as our kuleana out here. For many reasons, the historical and cultural value of the area is very healing. There's nothing out here, which is really healing. So cell phone service is a little bit non-existent down at the facility, which makes it a great place to detach from everything. And there's just this great cocoon feeling when you come in to be working with the horses. So Triple L Ranch sponsors Spirit Horse Ranch. And so if you know about our famous burger stand and our horseback rides, we also do those things out here.
Oh my gosh, this is right. I'm from Texas, so
Texas,
and the horses, and like, oh, how fun is this?
Yeah, I just hired a girl from Texas. She's in love with equine-assisted services, and everybody's struggling right now, which is kind of going to be the topic of what I want to share with you guys, is that, everybody's struggling. Maui's struggling intensely, but, the whole country is struggling, and there's a lot of pressure. And, she came over here for a couple of weeks and decided that she wanted to stay and learn because she sees the work that we're doing. And she's just like, oh my God, I've dreamed of doing this my whole life. And so we're excited. We love her, our little Texas girl. She's amazing.
Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about like the ranch. I mean, do you have ranch houses? Can people come and do retreats there? Like,
Oh gosh, we would love to do that. However, Jeff, you know Maui County, right? You know, there.
We're talking
So
permits now, right? Permits.
right. So 12 years ago, I had this wonderful idea to do an addiction retreat with the horses. And for 8 years, it was a hard no. What a crazy idea. That's ridiculous. You don't have the permits. We're not going to give them to you. You know, that because it was new. And back then, nobody did that type of a thing, right? So we kind of put it on the side. And we are a working cattle ranch. So we raise our own beef, small herd, Barangas Angus, 5 generations. And when I married my husband, I'm like, you need a real job. So we're going to get a brand. So we're going to have a family because it's been in the family a long time, but it was kind of, you know, very casual. And so we built it up to a decent size herd that would be enough to create a farm to table burger stand. So that would enable us to be able to produce off 18 head a year steers. So that means you have to have 10 times that amount. So about 180 head of cattle. When my husband passed away and passed the ranch over to me, you know, I said, well, what do I do? He said, don't trust anybody. And here's my shotgun.
At the 17th floor, we go beyond traditional wellness. Our signature deep high treatments, concierge medical care, holistic therapies, and restorative fitness create a complete path to healing. From IV therapies, PRP, and acupuncture, to licensed counseling and our world-class body shop experience, every service is customized with your unique goals and journey in mind. Step into a private sanctuary and experience true transformation at the 17th floor.
The journey to wellness begins with a single breath, and sometimes a glimpse of something greater. The 17th floor invites you to a deep sea excursion, an exclusive whale-watching experience designed to restore clarity, calm, and connection. As you witness these majestic whales in their natural rhythm, you'll be inspired to rediscover your own through a customizable treatment plan created by our concierge care team. Your personalized experience may include integrative therapies, restorative spa services, nutritional wellness, and our exclusive deep therapy sessions, which is our proprietary method that brings you to chronological balance of mind, body, and spirit. It's more than a luxury escape. It's the art of renewal, perfected. To design your 17th floor deep sea excursion, call 602-607-0552. Again, that is 602-607-0552.
And that was pretty much it. And I was like, okay, so, you know, I had to,
That doesn't
yeah.
sound like
And
Maui. That sounds more like Texas, yes.
well, he was a real cowboy. He was a bull rider, and you know, and he was he held the ground. So
So
how was I gonna?
you have to tell us what paniolos then, because nobody,
Yes,
our
yes.
guests, our listeners don't know about paniolos.
well,
So
let's
patiolos are
her story. This is exciting. I mean, she's right in the meat of it, and you want to know something else? So
so anyway, he
Cowboys.
was one of the rough,
Cowboys.
tough cowboys,
Yeah.
and when he passed away, it was like, okay, well, how am I going to manage all of this? And so, you know, I started the horseback rides as a way to check the cattle every day, pay wranglers because he wasn't here and I was still enmeshed in my career traveling. And my kids were still pretty young and they were still grieving the loss of this amazing man, right? And big presence. And so the other part of it was, well, I want the kids to stay linked to the ranch somehow. So the horseback rides was one way to get them involved. And then I created the burger stand, and everybody said I was crazy. They said I was crazy to do both things, but it was agricultural tourism, but also the beef industry was dying, and it's still kind of going out on Maui. So instead of selling baby calves, I thought, well, there's more money if you grind up hamburger and sell them as burgers. So we started it And I sat in that little kiosk on the side of the road for 6 months till we got our food permit passed. And it was gangbusters. And it's been a little rough since the fires because, we haven't had the business, but we're going to be doing a new launch. We're only open once a week at this point at the
Yeah.
burger stand, but we're going to open back up to about 5 weeks starting in the fall season because they're famous.
I've been by there times and you're always closed, so I'm glad you're reopening.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, if we can't afford to sell enough burgers to pay anybody to work there, then it's kind of useless. But the county stepped in with a grant for agricultural, so that's going to start back up for advertising and all kinds of stuff. So they've been very supportive of the ag, which is great. However, during COVID, when I sat out here, I have lung issues, and so my kids couldn't be here. I had to be out here by myself. So I know, but I had my horses and my dog, and so I would go out while the world was in chaos, and I would sit with my horses, and I'm a complex trauma survivor, and I'd taken over this ranch, and there'd been a lot of things, and it's way out here in the boonies, but I sat with them, and over the course of 30 days of just going and talking to them several times a day, there's nothing else to do, right? I just started to feel this incredible sense of peace. And one morning, as they kind of circled me in a little horseshoe around me, I was sitting on an old tub trough, and the idea of the addiction facility came back up, and I thought, with everything that's happening with COVID and everybody's shut in and the mental health crisis, and there's a lot that was not talked about as far as physical and sexual abuse during those times when people were stuck at home, right? So I thought, the root of addiction is really trauma. And
Always.
it's the individual's perception of an experience that creates their personal trauma. And it's so individualized that it has to be treated individually. Right? You can't do the same thing for each person. So there needs to be many modalities. And, I thought, well, how many times have you been to a therapist? How many times have you been to a psychiatrist? And you outsmarted all of them because the goal was to do just that. My survivor was like, just get through this and, tell him. I would make the appointment just so I could reaffirm that I had it all. I was good. Right. And I was good at it. And yeah. But there I was.
You're not a good client in that case.
I know. So I thought, well, what's working for me right now is just being with these horses and talking to them because they just listen and they're so patient. So I started researching trauma-informed programs. Like, does anybody do this in equine-assisted services? They have it for autism and veteran programs and hippotherapy, physical disabilities. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be great? And guess what? I found an organization that gelled with what I believed in and the principles of healing from trauma. And that was called Natural Lifemanship. And so I reached out to them and I'm like, I want to do this. And that began a journey. So my oldest daughter is also in natural lifemanship training, and I'm training everybody else. And also that's pretty much the principles of attachment and detachment disorder. And that's pretty much everybody. And so we have to go.
One of our partners is Dr. Navarro, and she is she's very skilled in attachment and detachment disorder. And it's funny, because it can start is in the womb. And and something like what you're doing is healing for everybody. I mean, you're able to connect yourself into that rhythm of the horse, and how brilliant!
Yeah, it's an amazing process, and it's also a lot of people are like, well, what about the horse? And I'm like, well, what we do with the principles of this one modality that we use, and we use 4, is what's good for the horse is good for the client. What's not good for the horse is not good for the client. So we train not only for the horse We also train for the client in trauma-informed care for both, so that at all times, everyone is supported. In a typical session, there might be 4 of us, sometimes 5 in the session. So there's a facilitator, which is similar to, if you had to get a good description, it's like a coach, but better. Sorry. I like it because they find their own answers through the process of what we do with the horses.
That's the best way for people to heal. Yes.
Yeah. And then there's the horse and the client. So there's 3 of us. And then we have an equine professional who is always with us in session, part of the team. And sometimes 2 if we're doing, side-by-side walking if they're mounted. So anyway, so we started with that. And then I wanted to take it a little deeper, because when you heal, where do you go from there? Right. So there's got to be some resilience building. And, how do I re-strengthen myself? Because I've had all these belief systems, right? Where do those belief systems take me? How do I turn those around? So we started training in equine-assisted learning and equine-assisted facilitated learning. So that's another one. And then in all of those, HeartMath came up.
Oh. Let me mention, I'm surprised because most people have not heard of HeartMath. I actually have a HeartMath machine.
Yay! Yay!
So it's not very common. But I also wanted to mention the things you're discussing. The multimodal approach to trauma is what is recommended, especially in the book, The Body Keeps Score by Coke de Vanderbilt, who's the expert in trauma. He says that people should do physical activities and sports to heal trauma. And horse riding is one of them, equine therapy. So that has been known for years, although, like you said, it's not something that's common.
So, we have many different levels of the equine work. A lot of it is on the ground, but it's rhythmic pattern repetitive behavior. And it's walking, it's doing activities, it's processing, it's laying on the horse. And then when we feel that the client is ready, we do rhythmic, sort of like EMDR type of riding, where they're doing the rhythmic body movements, and we work with them while they're on the horse. We're very careful before we start that process, because it is deep trauma processing. And so we want to make sure balance is good, and they have to go through kind of these little learning things. But we have also youth programs where it's designed specifically for littles or intermediate, kids. And then we have adults.
Let me ask you more about this, because I know you have free days. You have Maui wildfire survivors can come for free, and you can even provide transportation. Do you want to?
I didn't want to get into
the transportation on the horse. I'm just being funny. I was just. Is it horse and buggy?
That's not a bad idea. So we did have free transportation for 2 years, and then the funding ran out for that. The organization that was funding it, so we had to prioritize, and most people pretty much have it. We also have a foster program. I am very adamant that mental health care should not cost anyone anything, and I'm also advocating right now for that in Washington and in the Capitol. So I'm an advocate to watch out, because I just feel that if the soul is healthy, the body is going to be healthy, right? So it's a very holistic approach.
At the 17th floor, we go beyond traditional wellness. Our signature deep high treatments, concierge medical care, holistic therapies, and restorative fitness create a complete path to healing. From IV therapies, PRP, and acupuncture, to licensed counseling and our world-class body shop experience, every service is customized with your unique goals and journey in mind. Step into a private sanctuary and experience true transformation at the 17th floor.
Some of us run to remember.
Some of us run to forget.
Some of us run for the light inside of us.
That just hasn't burned out yet.
Some of us run together.
Some of us run alone.
Some of us run from the darkness
that chases us on our way home.
But it's the light inside of us.
We all want to share.
no matter where you are.
We are here to run for care. On April 18th, 2026, our city moves as one. Lace up, show up, lift up, run for care.
Learn more at runforcare.org.
So many studies out there that say it. We did one with the late Dr. Bob Bohanski for our technique that also says the same thing. So we follow you for sure.
Yay!
We have a specialized somatic trauma treatment that is proprietary to us. So
really,
that goes along with what you're saying. And we believe just what you said, heal the soul, you heal everything. Yes.
Yeah. And we've seen the byproducts of it. I mean, you know, there's so much to all these conversations, but if you're processing the trauma in the present moment, that relates back to always triggers from something else. For example, when people came right after the fires, and I mean right after the fires, we saw some of the worst scenarios of people, right? Lives lost, family members lost, and just tragedy, right? And they didn't talk about the fires because they were in shock, right? They talked about other things, other pains that came up. So trauma begins at the brainstem, and what's coming up for them in the brainstem is what's connected to what is creating the trauma today. So you have to go bottom up. So it's bottom up therapy, starting where's your trauma today? Well, I'm just angry. What are you angry about? What, I don't know. That's going to be the answer. So we don't ask, what is the anger about? We say, okay, where in your body are you feeling that? When else have you felt like that before? What does it connect to? And the anger over the fires, of course, is huge. There's just so much to that. But it connects to so many other parts of us. So some people went through the fires and have been able to process much quicker or differently, right? With we're gonna go off and do this, and they're doing good. They have a different set of attachment set, right? So other people will have things that will come up, and we have seen sexual trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, deep-rooted belief systems that it was all their fault. It's my fault that I lost everything. It's my fault I didn't protect my family. It's my fault. So a lot of it was self-blame, and then the guilt for survivor's guilt was very big. So what came up and what we were able to heal wasn't just the immediate disaster and the long-term recovery that we work on, but very deep historical trauma. And that's what's been amazing.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because, the whole thing of it is if we are healed, right, then that means we're healed. And so whatever we go through, we can process. So it's always tied to something previous. And it's like, what we do, one of our taglines that is our trademark is that we help people become chronologically current.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm hoping with this whole, connection here that maybe we can, well, keep in mind, it's our little TM here, but we would love for you to quote us.
So chronologically current.
Yes.
I love that.
Well, it's because they're stuck in the past age of their trauma. Yes.
Mm-hmm. We love it. And so do our clients, because that's exactly what happens with our treatment. Like, I've always wanted Paige to combine our deep high and DIT treatment with equine therapy. And, we live in Arizona. You'd think it'd be super, super easy here, right? But it's hot and it's dusty,
It's hot and dusty here too. It's hot and dusty here too, I swear. It is.
And a lot of those equine stables have been taken up by housing, and they've gone away.
Yeah. So, it is hot. It is dusty. But when you're in that bubble You're in that little cocoon. Sometimes, August we close for 2 weeks because it's just too hot. We don't do work inside because the environment and the nature aspect of it is super important to feel the elements. And there's also the bilateral sounds that are happening with, all of that stuff going on. We do brain spotting with the horses. It's amazing.
That
And
is
it's
amazing.
the horses will come right in and they'll be like, and they start pulling out as they're processing this deep trauma. They're clearing the client's chicken skin. It's amazing. And I had a horse come in and he tried to take the brain spotter away. I'm like, are you telling me that she's had enough? What? I was working with a 16-year-old and he's like, okay, that's enough. She's had enough. You got to stop.
Guardian.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like they're so attuned to what we're doing. But it is hot, it is dusty sometimes. And, I think that if it's something that you want to do, like we just got requested to train an organization on another island, and we are training another organization on Molokai. We go to Molokai once a month because they have limited resources, and we work with another organization that's from there called Hoakamana. And so collaboratively, we all start working together, to be able to heal more people. And it's the perfect time for us all to be doing this because guess what? We need it.
The journey to wellness begins with a single breath, and sometimes a glimpse of something greater. The 17th floor invites you to a deep sea excursion, an exclusive whale-watching experience designed to restore clarity, calm, and connection. As you witness these majestic whales in their natural rhythm, you'll be inspired to rediscover your own through a customizable treatment plan created by our concierge care team. Your personalized experience may include integrative therapies, restorative spa services, nutritional wellness, and our exclusive deep therapy sessions, which is our proprietary method that brings you to chronological balance of mind, body, and spirit. It's more than a luxury escape. It's the art of renewal, perfected. To design your 17th floor deep sea excursion, call 602-607-0552. Again, that is 602-607-0552.
How are you training these people everywhere? Are you bringing the horses, or are you able to actually train without the horses?
Well, it would be our preference. There's certifications that individuals can do on their own, and those are available with the different entities. I have my preference of, which organizations that I prefer my team to be working with under the principles and the trainings that we use. And so that's Natural Lifemanship, Equine-Assisted Learning Academy, HeartMath. We're certified trainers, so we can train hundreds of people at one time, from 1 to 500. And then belief system clearing as well as brain spotting. So we can adjust to what does Josette need? What does Jeff need? Because you're going to have different needs, right? And some will go from one session straight into a brain spotting session the next time they come because they're stuck. So we might do brain healing along with the horses. Our sessions for brain spotting and brain healing are shorter. We do 1 or 2, points for them, and then they go right into stabilization with the horse. So they get their nervous system reset after the session. The nervous system can get really highly dysregulated in a brain spotting, which, you kind of want them to feel those feelings to process the trauma, right? And, but we feel better because it's a long drive to us that they kind of get restabilized by brushing and walking the horse and just hugging the horse and just kind of getting back into their body in the present moment so that they can have a nice drive home, right? Safely. But yeah, we train as an organization, because we're involved with the Molokai team over there. Spirit Horse has created a Spirit Horse section. So she's been trained under our umbrella. with Natural Livemanship, Equine-Assisted Academy, and HeartMath. Other organizations, they would go and train, and then we would show them how to work that modality, because there's a specific way to meet them where the trauma is at, not where they're at, but where's your trauma at? Like, where are you
Meet you.
coming in at?
And
Meet them
I
where they're at.
Yep, exactly. I think a lot of our listeners and viewers are really interested mostly in the equine portion of that. So can you explain, like, do they, like, how long would it take before they actually, like, working with you? Do they spend weeks before they're actually on the horse, or how is that process?
So it's very individual. The first they come in, they check in with us. We get them, where are you at? They go into session, they do 5 minutes of HeartMath, and then they start with an activity. And it's immediate that they're working with the horses. So their level of do they want to heal? You've been there, right? Is there resistance? Are they ready? Do they need to go slow, or are they ready to go for it? And you can usually tell in that first session when they're brushing what comes up, and they'll be surprised, like, I can't believe I'm talking about this. I haven't talked about this forever. And all of a sudden things start coming up. And if those connections are made quickly, it can speed it up. We say a minimum of 4 sessions before we do rhythmic riding is what it's called. It's called rhythmic riding, before we start rhythmic riding. If there's any history of severe abuse of any kind, it could be, 6 sessions, because there's a lot to work out prior to doing those processes. But again, everything involves a horse. Every activity that we do, no matter what, brain spotting, brain healing, HeartMath, the horse is always there. The horse is always a partner.
You've mentioned HeartMath a few times. Can you briefly mention what HeartMath is for our listeners? Because we don't want to get
HeartMath is a practice. HeartMath has created a practice for coherence, and it aligns with horses, because horses are always in a state of coherence, and coherence is when the heart, nervous system, and brain are all aligned. So most people's nervous system will look like this. It's like we're in a frenetic society. Some of us, I found out my nervous system had never been in a state of self-regulation. It was always in a survival mode. And so I thought the whole thing was a scam, because my score was so perfect, because I was going to beat the system, right? Because I had to survive. And so what it did was it took my nervous system like a horse, and a horse will do this. The horse will meet me where I'm at, and that if it's up here, it'll bring me down. If I'm down here, it'll bring me up, just by their nervous system working with mine. HeartMath, by breathing through the heart, we can do that ourselves. We can go to our heart, breathing in and out. Just the first heart-focused breathing practice is to breathe in and out of the heart a little slower and deeper. It's kind of a neutral state. I love it. It's a lifesaver. After 2 weeks of practicing HeartMath, heart-focused breathing, I woke up and I was like, something's missing. It's so quiet in my head. And I equated this to finally having a nervous system which was not in constant fight or flight. I was no longer in reaction, even with all the work I'd done, all the healing. Here comes
you can do all of that cognitively, and that's great. You can know it, but applying it and being it,
HeartMath, it was a game changer. Yeah. So HeartMath is a big part of our program.
So you have the machine. It's a biofeedback process. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, yeah, I got one too. Yes.
Yep, I love HeartMath, and I love it. We teach littles, 3, 4, 5. They'll be like, "Mom." We teach kids how to tell their parents when they need to heart focus.
Oh, that's too cute.
Yeah, so the kids will be like, "Mom, I think you need to heart focus." And everybody in the family will do a heart focus moment. We work with a lot of families, teenagers. They never feel like they're in control of anything. Everybody's in charge of their life. HeartMath can help them feel like they have some control and they can control their feelings. From autism, kids with autism, they love it. ODD. It's just been a game changer. And I wouldn't have believed it because I stuck mine. Someone gave me one. I stuck it in a drawer for 2 years. I'm like, that's ridiculous. It can't work.
Doesn't work in the
And
drawer.
now I'm the biggest advocate now.
Isn't it funny how all the simple things that are not that difficult work? We tried to do all of this craziness, and it's just always back to basics. Paige, when you were talking about up to 6 sessions, are they spread out? Can people like say I wanted to bring a group of people from Arizona over to see you? Would we be able to do back to back, or is it better to do it over a couple weeks? Like, what's the best protocol?
We do groups, and it just depends what your goals are. If you were coming over and you wanted to do, I would say you could do 2 days back to back, right? It's a lot. It's pretty intense. Like people are like, what are you going to do? Pony rides? No, it's not pony rides. This is pretty amazing. It's mind blowing. And, so you don't want to push too much, right? So if you came with the group and you came to Maui, you could even spread it out, do equine-assisted services, do something else the next day, like forest bathing, right? And then do equine-assisted services. And then, do something like a yoga retreat or goat yoga. I don't know. And then you could come and do equine-assisted services. So you could do something like that. And we don't do heavy stuff. If we're going to do groups, we try to do it over 2 or 3 hour period, and then you take a break.
Okay.
Right. So we can
include those burgers on the break. I mean, do you provide lunch? Honestly, I know I was being funny, but do you?
Yes, we can provide lunches, and we can set all that stuff up to do. And we're really doing that now because the federal funding stuff that's going on. We've all been advised as nonprofits to look for revenue streams. So that's kind of one of the things that we're doing. We're doing corporate retreats for, companies to come over and learn HeartMath, hospitals, ERs, as well as combining it with equine-services.
So let's make sure the listeners have your contact information, Paige. Spirit Horse Ranch, how can they get in touch with you?
So Spirit Horse Ranch, we have a beautiful website, and it's just www.thespiritHorseranch.org. And everything's done through the website. You can contact us. We just updated everything. We're finalizing our Molokai page, but
whether it's leadership, a big project, or just life, we understand the toll it takes on your mind and body. That is why at the 17th floor, we provide a place to recover, recoup, and recalibrate. From our world-renowned deep session treatments to a 360-degree approach to wellness, including concierge medical care, licensed therapists, fitness programs, IV therapies, PRP, acupuncture, and naturopathic medicine, the 17th floor is here for you. We also offer membership plans for those ready to just live life better. Call us today at 602-607-0552 or visit us at 17thfloor.vip. The 17th floor, sustaining generational wellness.
The 17th floor VIP invites you to a deep sea excursion, an exclusive whale watching experience designed to restore clarity and connection. Discover your own rhythm with a customizable treatment plan featuring luxury accommodations, integrative therapies, spa services, nutritional wellness, and our proprietary deep therapy sessions, bringing balance to mind, body, and spirit. To design your 17th floor VIP excursion, call 602-607-0552.
On April 18th, 2026, Renew Well and the Go Deep Foundation invite you to lace up and join us for the Run for Care 5K. This isn't just a run, it's a movement. At Renew Well, we believe wellness is more than what's covered by healthcare. It's about dignity, stability, and hope. That's why your steps help provide essentials too often out of reach, from interim housing and nutrition to food security and wellness programs. Every mile you run helps restore balance. Every stride helps restore lives. Together, we run for care.
Jeff, I don't know if you know about this, or it's probably a good idea. People want to know more about what equine-assisted services are. There's a film that has been traveling around. It's won quite a lot of awards, and we are being sponsored as the nonprofit to benefit from a preview that is coming to Maui. It's going to be November 19th, and it's going to be at the MAC. And Jeff, I can send you the information. It's an award. The filmmakers are going to be there, and all the proceeds are going to be donated to Spirit Horse, but we're going to be there. It's an opportunity, check it out, Gisette. It's called Rescued Hearts, and it covers many different types of equine assisted services because I try to educate people. Equine therapy is actually therapy for horses, right? It's where we take care of horses, they get some therapy. Equine assisted services is broad.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, so technically, people go, oh, equine therapy, I'm going to go do that, right? But it's actually the correct terminology is it's for horses. Equine assisted services involves trauma informed care. Equine assisted services, that's what we do. And so this film is an introduction to many different places around the country and the world that are doing different modalities. And it's very touching and heartwarming, and it's grief, it's autism, it's veterans, it's inmates, and it's just beautiful. So we're going to be there. Yeah. And they often show in different places. I don't know if they've shown in Arizona yet, but I think one of the ranches in Arizona might be in it. I'm not sure, but they've filmed a lot of different stories.
Well, one of the things we could do, because up on 17th floor, we have the whole penthouse. And so we have huge screens and stuff in the back area. So we can seat up to, dinner, we can seat up to 120 people. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And so we could do a filming here, a showing of it, not a filming, but a showing. And so we'll definitely have to keep in contact and talk about some of those things. And I did have one question, do you do any type of physical sponsorships along those lines? Because we also have a nonprofit, and some of the things that you were talking about, I'm like, wow, I've always wanted to do some equine assisted therapy, for sure. And maybe this could be, we'll have to talk more, and the others might be interested in doing the same thing.
I think it would be great, Gisette, if you or Jeff want to come up and do a session and see what it's like. Absolutely. Come on up, and we would be happy to sponsor you guys. And it's great, for other healers to come because we're the last ones to take care of ourselves, right? And when everybody hit burnout, and some people are still hitting burnout, some mornings I'm like, man, do I want to get out of bed? There's like so much going on in the world. I'll do a little heart focus. And then the first thing I do every morning is I go hug 16 horses. That's my thing. And people are like, why aren't you burnt out? Like, you should be freaking out. Everything's a disaster. I'm like, well, it is, but not much I can do about it this morning. And so I'm going to go hug my horses. And so usually I just open the door behind me and there's a horse. This morning, Toa was there and he's like, Mom, I need my kiss. He sticks his big nose over the railing and he wants a kiss. And then there's 5 of them that are up here by the office. The other 11 are down below. But I do a little trip and I go and see all of them. And by the time I'm done, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm ready for the day. I'm healed.
Is there any horse back there you can introduce us to?
Oh, let's see. Who's here? Let me see. Oh,
there's a beautiful dog.
That's blue. Toa, come here, Toa. Hey, buddy. Toa.
I thought it'd be great to get a horse on the air here.
I know, it will.
He's licking a salt block right now.
He doesn't want to come.
He's very preoccupied. He might
be on the air. I think
that's a
salt block.
Hey, Abba, can you bring Toa over? Thank you. So our girl Abba's gonna bring him over so you guys can see him. Toa is one of our newest horses. Sometimes we get rescues. Sometimes there's a horse that somebody just doesn't find useful anymore. And we get a chance to snatch him up. So Toa is one of those horses. You know, the way of the cowboy is power, domination, and control. And I had to relearn that that doesn't work. and there he is.
Hey, Toa. Oh my gosh, he's gorgeous.
Let's go see him. Do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, Paige, so beautiful.
And there's Star over there. She's like, hey, he's getting carrots. The sound of crunching carrots. And this is Abba.
Hi.
Abba, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Jeff
meet you.
that from Island AOI.
Hi, buddy.
Aw.
Yeah, he's the one who insists on kisses every morning. He's like, hey, you got to come out here and give me a big kiss on the nose. He's a sweetheart. So Toa came to us about 2 months ago, and we had to do some healing work with him. He had some injuries, and
He needed equine therapy, huh?
he got equine therapy so we could build him back up to a healthy horse. And a little bit of stuff needed to be done. And then his partner, stall partner, is Star, and she has a long history of trauma. And boy, we had a lot of work to do with her. She was abandoned by her owners. She outlived her use, had got a lung condition. When they push horses too hard, their lungs will suck in. And so she has a really heavy breathing, so she can't be used anymore. So she was thrown out into the wild. Shouldn't say that on radio, but she was left out into the open in haiku. And she ran around for a couple of years until she was skin and bones. And a friend of mine picked her up and took her in. But in that process, she was chased and tormented, and people tried to, catch her and just terrified her. So she's a survivor, And so he called me up, and he'd had her about a year, and he had begun to neglect her money and other things, and said, hey, will you take this horse? And so we brought her in here, and you couldn't get near her. She was just terrified. She would run. She would stay awake so long that she became narcoleptic. And I'd find her tangled in the fence in the morning. I'm like, girl, you gotta sleep. And she just didn't trust. She was on high alert all the time. So over time, we worked with her to heal those wounds. And today, she is like the best therapy horse you have ever seen.
Oh, I
Like,
bet.
Great story.
she goes in and she just connects with people, and she'll come right into them, and she's like, let me heal you. Wait, you're not done yet. And she'll just do this thing. She's really amazing. So, the horses, they're just incredible. They're like angels. They really are.
And it's so neat to hear, because anytime any of us heal, then we can connect and help others heal by just being ourselves. And it's so fun to see that that's how horses are as well. And
Yeah.
so that's beautiful.
So one of the things I wanted to share with your listeners is something that we found. We just got back from Molokai last Friday, and there's so much in the news, is a term that we use in sessions. So with horses, we either increase the pressure, decrease the pressure, or keep the pressure the same. And this is while we're doing connection work with the horse. And it's a very involved process to learn what all these mean for ourselves, connecting to ourselves as connecting to another person or an animal like a horse. But right now, if I could leave your listeners with something, it would be, it's time to release the pressure on ourselves and those around us. It's just release the pressure a little bit. Because in that moment of releasing the pressure during what's going on in the world today, we can start to reconnect. Sometimes we have to increase pressure to get what we want, and sometimes we keep the pressure the same. But right now, for just a little bit, release the pressure and just breathe a little bit, because we're going to make it. We're going to all be okay. We really are. And when we release the pressure, we can start to reconnect to one another.
We want to thank Paige Depan from Spirit Horse Ranch. Again, give us your website, Paige.
www.thespiritHorseranch.org.